Team
Oh, JD,
WCW?
this is
What?
gonna warm your heart. We got a super chat, and the super
Ooh.
chat is burying Triple H. So
Oh,
my new favorite listener, uh, Glassdoor
Glassdoor
Gamer. He's
Gamer.
got a Mario avatar. He said no one was excited to talk about Triple H in the Attitude Era. Most overrated, boring POS. Creatively, he sucked when NXT went to 2 hours. Great show.
Thanks,
Thank you,
man.
Glassdoor Gamer. I completely agree with you because NXT, I would say from 2014 to 2017, when it was just 1 hour a week, was my favorite wrestling show. It really
Me too.
was. And
Me
there's a
too.
lot of stars from that era that like some of them are like available like right now. Like Sanity is like out there, and I'm like begging TNA to pick up Sanity because I just thought that was such a cool faction. Eric Young is already in TNA. You got Sanity out there working indies or back as a tag team. So and then I went to the I think it was 2015, the big San Jose show, like the first ever takeover that they did, like their first big show outside of Orlando. I was there and they had so many cool matches and so many like it was just like an awesome thing to be a part of. But once they went to 2 hours, and once they decided they were going to try to take on AEW and they failed miserably, the show has really sucked and it has not really been that great ever since. We have not had like an amazing takeover special because those takeover specials were basically like what people are saying about AEW pay-per-views right now. That was takeover specials back then. And they were always awesome.
Hey, that's $5 Canadian too. So thank you very much.
Yes.
That's more than $5. Can you please pull up King of the North tweet comment because that made me laugh.
Yeah.
King of the North says JD's face lighting up. No one someone paid to bury Triple H. Bought me so big. The King just gets me, man. He just gets me.
Yes, yes. I'm gonna put Glassdoor back up. But JD, comment on the burial of Triple H and the downfall of NXT.
What more can I say that hasn't been said? This is 100%. I could, so I'll be honest with you. The Reign of Terror chased me away from being a fan of WWE because there's nothing more boring than Triple H cosplaying Ric Flair. Like
Yeah,
Evolution was a knockoff Horseman. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that interesting. It was a terrible era in WWF. Watch those shows. They're Triple H just I don't know, man. I've never gotten it. I never understood. Like in the Attitude Era, we had Rock and Austin, these generational performers. You had Chris Jericho and like these guys from WCW, and I hate to say it, Chris Benoit, Eddie
yeah,
Guerrero. Like these guys were in, they were so good. And then there was Triple H, this big juiced up dude who like he worked hard, but I mean, like I don't know, like I never watched a Triple H match and went, God damn, this dude. Never. Not one time. Like the
yeah.
walk-in brawls are boring. I just don't get it. I never understood.
The first pay per view I ever went to was Fully Loaded 1998 in the Selland Arena in Fresno, California. And the co-main event of that show was Triple H, DX era Triple H, so 1998, versus Nation of Domination era The Rock. That was the co-main event.
I remember that.
Uh, it was best 2 out of 3 falls match, and I loved that match. And then they had a ladder match the next month, and then
Right.
quick, and I thought that was pretty good as a Madison Square Garden. I think the crowd heat probably made it even better.
Mhm.
And then after that, everybody just started to skyrocket, and he was getting left behind. Stone Cold was already a megastar at that point, and The Rock becomes a megastar. Mankind is like over like crazy in 1998. Undertaker starts getting more over, and Triple H is getting left behind, and he's kind of like forcing his way in there. And that's where the criticism of him becoming Stephanie's boyfriend, and then and that's not to say that the guy's not talented. He is. Like the guy can work, and the guy has some charisma. His promo ability has never been great, but he's like a passable promo. You know what I mean? And so whenever Austin and Rock left, they left Triple H as the top guy. And that was a massive failure. And business declined greatly year over year over year over year. And they could not wait to get John Cena into that position. So if you go back and look at it, like 2003 to like 2006 was just the reign of terror that you're talking about. And then finally they handed over the reins to John Cena. And I was not a John Cena fan, to be
Who
honest with you.
was?
I just wasn't. But they just could not wait to get it over into John Cena's hands. So that took it was necessary because Triple H was essentially killing business and driving people away. John Muse says you could do a show on AEW booking and ways to improve. You know who should come onto that show and do that?
I was going to say, you could do a show on AEW booking and ways to improve, my friend.
Yeah. John Muse, you're welcome on the show, and I would love that. I would love that.
We've been bugging you to do that for years.
Yeah, hold on. Glassdoor Gamer sent us another 5 spot. Thank you, sir. He said that Rock promo about Triple H tonight. I am going to say absolutely nothing for 20 minutes. It's still valid. His pressers are the same. Yeah. Like he did the same, like, I'm the game. I'm in charge. And my wife has knockers.
She does have knockers. Yes, that is true. The game. I hate him so much. Like, you know what's funny about WWF booking is it was such a babyface territory from Bruno Sammartino, Pedro, Backlund, Hogan, Bret Hart, Steve Austin. One heel dominated that company for years. One, Triple H. I'll never get it.
Yeah.
I'll never get it.
Until Roman Reigns, right? But because Triple H was such a Flair fan, he tried to turn WWE into Crockett, and WWE just could not capture that. You know what I mean? And he tried to become Ric Flair. In fact, he did Evolution, a knockoff of the Four Horsemen, had Ric Flair in the group. Now it stunk for the most part, but like, don't get mad at me, but I really liked the Batista feud.
Well, that's fine.
I personally did. Yeah. I thought they did that very well.
Do you know why? Because Dave Batista freaking rules. That's why he's a major motion picture star.
Yeah,
the star. Because he's awesome. Of course, that was great. I agree with you 100% on that. Batista freaking rules. So, but I wasn't Triple H. Drax is great, man. And remember, they weren't going to push. Remember, like, he wanted to do stuff, and Triple H is such a genius. He's like, nobody's going to go see that Guardians movie. Fucking moron.
King of the North says Mike is a big nose ring spot fan. I was a big fan of that nose ring. You know what I'm talking about, JD?
No.
So a couple of years ago, it was probably several years ago, they were doing this big celebration for Ric Flair's 70th birthday. And at the end of the episode, when Flair was supposed to come down, all the wrestlers in the ring, they're going to welcome Flair down for the 70th birthday. And then Batista comes out of nowhere, had not been on Raw in years, attacks Triple H.
Yeah.
And then during the match, so they did Triple H versus Batista. I think that might have been Triple H's last match.
It was.
It was one of his last matches.
Yeah.
During the match, they pulled the nose ring out. And I love that. And I'll tell you why. Because nose rings are not allowed in the Air Force. They're not allowed. They are not. And so we had somebody recently that was at work in uniform with a nose ring in, and somebody texted me, said, hey, so-and-so from this section has got a nose ring in. Can you handle it? And I went and told that member supervisor, I said, you tell her to take that nose ring out right now, or I'm coming down with pliers and I'm taking them out for her. She never wore the nose ring again. So I'm a big fan of the nose ring spot. I love that because I am like on a nose ring hunt for people in uniform with nose rings. I'm out to get them.
That's a hell of a threat.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
They also knew that I was full of it. I wouldn't actually do that, but
no, you have to threat though. That's a great threat. That's a dad threat.
Yeah.
Guy with a nose ring, not a good look at all. Really quite stupid. Girl with a nose ring, kind of a fan.
Yeah, well, but I thought that was part. Yeah, I know. I thought that was part of the heat, though. For
Dave. That's why it worked.
Ridiculous what they blew nose ring.
Yeah, that's why it worked. Totally worked. Like that's in the spot. Like, totally worked just fine. I'm just saying. Girl with a nose ring, it's a good look.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna close it up. I'm gonna get to these last chats. John, you said we'll figure something out. Hey, look, you open the door, brother. We're gonna annoy you until you come on.
We have your phone number. Don't forget that.
I might just I figure out a way to just call him live on the air and just put him on.
We'll sandbag our buddy.
Glassdoor Gamer says
Triple H is not going to last. You know what's going to happen if he gets fired from WWE? They're going to hire him to book AEW. I just know that.
Yeah,
because that's my luck. Yeah. That's how that's going to happen.
Look, we can say whatever we want about it. Like right now, him and Nick Khan and Lee Fitting, they're actually like doing a pretty good job. Right?
Yeah,
they're on fire right now. So I don't think, as long as they're on fire and he doesn't get in trouble, I think he's not going anywhere. But I would not be surprised if stuff comes out about him too, but I'm not going to say anything more than that. Yeah.
Io says I slept off during Raw. I don't know what that means.
It means he fell asleep during Raw.
Oh, I do. I used to fall asleep during Raw all the time. It's a boring ass show.
And Glassdoor says once the crowd turns on him, it's inevitable because WWE fans are fickle. That's true. He is going to be gone. I think if business starts to decline, they would probably end up getting rid of him. But I honestly, I think the guy's cemented in there.
I agree.
You know, he's going to be in there as long as humanly possible. Someday I'll be as popular as Ibu, and I'll get on the Mike and JD show. You got a welcome invite, brother.
Yeah, open door.
Next time we'll do a call-in show here pretty soon. We almost talked about doing that since we had no format. But when I do a call-in show, I want to give everybody advance notice so they can be prepared. And so we'll try to do a call-in show, and I'll make a plan of it. I'll advertise it. And King of the North, you'll be on the show. I want to get you on, and then I want to get Ibu back on here. I'm sure he's got a lot going on. It's been a while since we talked to old Ibu.
Yeah.
And then he said JD and I can bury Triple H for an hour. Hell, you guys can just do a full show burying Triple H.
I would look very forward to that.
Yeah.
Never gonna get that cheese board. Never. All right, guys. I think that is going to do it for us this time. I really, really appreciate you guys. Go to the patreon.com/the Mike and JD show. Please support the show. Give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you're a subscriber. Lay down a comment and share the show. And then if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, make sure to share the show there. Give a 5-star review. Let Joe and Rich know that you like the show. I'd really appreciate it because eventually they're going to start paying us a lot of money. And we're just going to I'm going to retire from the military. And JD's going to quit teaching, and we're just going to live off being able to talk to our friends on the internet. That's the dream one day. Not going to happen. I was going to say, what are you on, my friend?
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to do it for us this week. And until next time, mahalo.
Competition starting to get thick. It's the click, so I hope you watch your A game. Make no lane from the track when we unite and spit. This is an A game. Better bring your A game. Competition starting to get thick. It's the click, so I hope you watch your A game.